be able to introduce the UK premiere of What We Do in the Shadows. This really is a fantastic film. It's a very funny film out of New Zealand. I've seen it 3 times and I just think it's a riot every time. I'm sure you're going to think the same. I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic time. I would like to thank Metrodome for letting us have this premiere, specifically Jez and Chris and Damo, who've been very helpful, and we love working with them. They're a great team. The film itself is out in UK cinemas in on November the 21st, so you're getting a good early look at it. Please tweet and tell everybody how much you love it. So that is that from me. Now I would like to introduce to you our 2 special guests this evening. Please join me in welcoming to Somerset House the co-directors and co-stars of What We Do in the Shadow, Mr. Taika, Waititi, and Mr. Jemaine, Clement.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Somerset House.
Thank you. I'm just going to DJ for a bit.
Just joking. That sounded quite
It's
good.
going to be more afterwards.
We're doing a set.
It's cold.
It's cold, but what a lovely summer event.
What a lovely beautiful English summer night.
What an honour it is to be closing this festival. We'd like to preface this documentary film with a letter that we received in February of 2012. Here it is.
Probably 2 years ago.
You probably, can you read that? I'll read it then. Dear Taika and Jemaine, we at the New Zealand Documentary Board are avid followers of your work. You, Jemaine, for your realistic and heartbreaking portrayal as the vengeful but awesome alien in Men in Black 3. And you, Taika, on your work in what will surely go down in New Zealand cinematic history as that Starburst advert. In light of your twofold achievements, we think you are the perfect team to make a documentary of a most interesting nature. We would like you to follow a certain subculture of Wellington nightlife. Before you agree to this, we must warn you to take the following precautions. It's written slowly like that. These people will not meet you during the hours of daylight. Requesting them to do so may cause them great offence to their culture and jeopardise the entire project. And that would not be awesome. You must wear crucifixes at all times, and we repeat all times, and we're just going to repeat it one more time in case you didn't see it the last 2 times, all times. Wear them out of sight, but close to your bodies. Pizzas, pasta, and other garlic-based foodstuffs must be avoided. It is highly advised that none of your film crew are virginal. As embarrassing as it may be, you must know their sexual history. And I know there's some crew members here tonight. Thank you guys, and that's why we had to ask you if you've done it. Avoid filming on days that you have cuts, contusions, or abrasions. Please do not ignore these instructions. Your mortal lives depend on following them to the letter. We have included within these reference materials for your perusal 1 copy of Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, 1 copy of the DVD Blade 1, and finally 1 copy of Blade 3. Sorry, Blade 2 was out. Should you accept this project, good luck and may God have mercy on you. Awesome, the New Zealand Documentary Board.
Of course, we were nervous. You know, we had never made a documentary about vampires, and
Or a
also
documentary.
never made a documentary at all. And so we set about watching the reference material, Blade 1 and Blade 3. Turns out if you understand Blade 3, you don't need to see Blade 2. We read the back cover of Dracula and we were ready. And we went and met these guys, and you're about to see them on the screen.
Keep in mind these guys are killers.
Monsters.
They're vampires. They're literally monsters.
Creatures of the night. But, as was the case with us, we hope that you also see a little of the humanity in them.
Yeah.
You see, when we were filming, we started asking ourselves questions. Who were the real vampires? Were the real vampires the actual vampires that we were capturing on our cameras? Obviously, yes, because they were vampires. So definitely, they were vampires for sure. But then, were we the vampires?
We turned it back on us. Were we the vampires?
Were we sucking the lifeblood from their stories, their lives? Our cameras being the fangs biting into their kind of story necks.
Interesting. Or then we took it one further than that. We surprised ourselves.
We pushed the limits of that.
Maybe
We had thought.
Maybe it is you, the audience, that are the vampires, feeding off the energy of the stories. Just something to think about.
You don't have to go woohoo. It's just a thing to think about when you're watching.
Well, I understand. You go woohoo, maybe we're vampires.
I said no. Woo.
We don't mean literally vampires.
Just sort of energy suckers. In general.
It's not a cool thing.
Don't have to be proud of it.
It's something we want you. It's just something we want you to think about. Now,
You're proud.
careful because
You go, girl, boy, dude.
this documentary it has horrible scenes. It's unflinching. We didn't flinch.
It's raw.
It's real.
It's
You can say the title now.
gritty.
It's gritty, and then you can say
It's
the title.
what
Say
we
the
do
title.
in the shadows.
What we do in the shadows. Thank you very much for coming. If you want to, we can do a Q&A after.
If you haven't frozen to death, we'll be back to talk after the film.
If you have any cues, we'll have some A's.
How harrowing this experience was. Thank you.
Yeah. And then, guess they were like, right next to